This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's going on, everybody? As we all know, mental health is a huge piece for me. And recently, as I become a better version of myself, I've decided that it's time for me to go to therapy because I understand how life can be a little overwhelming and we all need help navigating through the trenches of military service in and out of uniform. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, all you got to do is go to their site. Matter of fact, you can use my link right here. Answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience in helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call or video chat or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You will be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/meechspeaks and enjoy a special discount on your first month. I don't know who need to hear this, but what's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Talkin Crazy podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review, because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope your day's going good. I hope your morning's going good, and I hope your week is going good. Now, I already know that the week is a little bit, you kind of wishing that it was still the weekend, you know what I mean? Because we had a longer weekend than usual. Like for the military folk, we had the 96. And for everybody else, we kind of just had a long weekend. I don't know what everybody else like to call it, but 4th of July was just last week. So obviously, everybody's a little bit more groggy. You know what I mean? And I'm going to just be completely honest. I honestly didn't want to record today. I had no intention of recording. I didn't have an idea. I didn't have a topic. I couldn't jot anything down. Honestly, it was just nothing but brain fog. And it wasn't like I was stressed out. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like as if like I was going through something or I'm trying to figure something out or I got some other shit on my mind. To be completely honest, I actually had a good weekend. I got a chance to play the game. Just like what I said, 4th of July was right around the corner. It was just like last week. And we grilled, we had some drink, we laughed, we played some music. There was nothing stressful or there wasn't an issue that would have stopped me from recording. But for some reason, I couldn't bring myself into the booth to do it. And as I was getting ready to just shut it down for the day, my phone rings, right? Like my phone rang. And I hop up, man. Like I hop up and I start running around because for some reason I just couldn't find my phone. And it wasn't my personal phone. It was my work phone. So it's definitely a call I didn't want to miss. And I'm looking for my phone. And as soon as I get the phone, I get on it and I say, "Hey, Marines, that's our Thigpen. How may I help you, sir, ma'am?" And as the conversation concluded, right? And I get off the phone and I hang it back up and I put it back down. I sit down and I say to myself, like, where the fuck did all that energy come from? Just a minute ago, I was ready to call it a night, go to sleep early. I was getting ready to say that I need to take a mental day, take a mental health day, or, mindset recharge. But as soon as my phone got on there, I already had made 3 different types of commitments. I'm talking about if they would have said, "Hey, Thigpen, I need you to come into work," I would have been already in my car. If they would have told me, "Hey, Thigpen, I need you there early," I would have already been there 2 hours early. If they would have said, "Hey, Thigpen, tomorrow I need you to stay late," I would have stayed late. But for some reason, when it was my dream, when it was my passion, when it was my goal, when it was all of those things that were related to me, I was ready to call it a day. I was ready to go to bed and not put no work in for me. And as I sat in the booth, man, like right before I even start writing things down, I asked myself, if your job called you and they called you and they said that you got 24 hours to pack your desk up because your service is no longer needed in the United States Marine Corps, what would you do? What would you do? And that really hit me, man. Like I'm talking about, it hit me so hard that I had like a pit in my stomach that it hit me so hard. Because I just really want to just say something, man, because I don't know who need to hear this, but how many times do we put ourselves on the back burner? How many times do we say to ourselves that we need a break, that we need some time to relax, that we need a moment to ourselves, that we ain't got time to chase after our passions, chase after our dreams, chase after our aspirations, but as soon as that job calls you, all of a sudden, you ready to get up and go do it. You ready to get out of the house as soon as possible, get to that job to make that money. And hey, first and foremost, this ain't me on my high horse. This is your captain coming in on Experience Airlines because I'm speaking from my perspective. But how many times do we do that? And I had to sit back and I asked myself, dog, man, you retire in 6 years? Like in 6 years, you are about to get out of the military. You will close this chapter, hang them uniforms up, probably put them in a box, toss them in the attic and never look at them. And you ain't got nothing to really show for it. You keep saying that you're going to take this podcast to the next level, that you're going to take this social media to the next level, that you're going to do all of these things and take it to the next level. But for some reason, when you're tired, you're the first one that you tell can wait. As soon as you're tired, all of a sudden, everybody else gets in front of you and you're the one that needs to wait. And that just didn't sit right with me. So for today's episode, man, I really want to just share my thoughts with you. I really want to just share my thoughts on the idea of what it means, man, when you are putting yourself second. Let me rephrase that. When you put your goals second. No, man, let me just cut the bullshit. I really just want to talk about the fact that if your job called you today and told you that you no longer work there, what the fuck are you going to do? So just like what I said, if your job called you today and told you that you no longer work there, what the fuck are you going to do? You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because there has been moments where I have said, take a break before you break. Take a mental health day. Take a moment to recharge. And trust me, man, like all of those things are needed when there is time. But at the exact same time, man, like at some point, we got to hold ourselves accountable. Like we got to hold our own feet to the fire. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to hop online and see some social media fucking guru tell you that there's no time limit on this. There's no rush to this. You know, you can take as much time as you need, focus on yourself, and all of these things that seem like it just does not put some expedience in the plan. You know, it seems like we always can find somebody to tell us to take our foot off the gas. But how many times do we really have to sit back and say, hey, bro, man, like it's time for you to put your foot on the gas? You know what I mean? How many people do we have in our corner right now that's going to say like, hey, man, like I know that, you know, you have been taking care of a lot of things, but at the exact same time, where the fuck are your goals? Where your dreams? Where your aspirations? Didn't you say that you was going to knock them out? Why the hell is you sitting on your ass? And once again, man, like that was me. That was me this weekend. Sitting on my ass all that weekend, watching Netflix, knowing that I got stuff on my board that I'm supposed to knock out. How many of us have actually been in that situation right there? You know what I'm talking about? You know damn well that you got homework that you're supposed to do, but you about to wait to the last minute. But you said to yourself in the very beginning that you was going to graduate, that you was going to accomplish this because you needed that degree to get to that career, to set yourself up for some type of future. But for some reason, you in the present and you bullshitting. I was there. I'm talking about I'm sitting down on the game. I'm chilling. You feel me? I'm talking about I woke up early just to get on the game. You feel me? And I'm putting in some good hours. And once again, I'm not saying that this ain't something that we not supposed to do. But at the exact same time, when you got goals, aspirations, dreams, you got a plan, you got shit that you supposed to be doing. Why the hell are you choosing this time? You know what I mean? Why the hell are you choosing this time to neglect it, to not lock in, to not focus? It's so easy for us to sit back, man, and say that we got all the time in the world. And just like what I said, man, like you can hop online right now and see some social media guru, see somebody online tell you, take your time, don't rush it, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, your moment gonna come. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, dog, because I don't know who need to hear this, and I might be the one that actually need to hear it. So I'll just say it to you, Demetrius. You can keep telling yourself that your moment gonna come, but if you sitting on your ass, your moment ain't gonna never come. If you keep taking these fucking mental days, your moment ain't gonna never come. If you keep taking these fucking rest days, I promise you, your moment ain't gonna never come. If you keep telling yourself that tomorrow you would do it, next time you would do it, guess what? You're gonna run out of time, bro. You're gonna run out of time. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, man, because I used to be a firm believer in this. I used to hold firm in this, that, hey, man, it's all about the moment. You can't rush the moment. But let me just break this down real quick. If you never get off your ass, when is the moment supposed to come? Is the moment supposed to just show up to your door like this? Hey, I'm the moment, bro. I got here on FedEx, on Amazon, USPS, UPS. They delivered me. They told me that you needed this. That's not how that worked. And then I started to really dissect it just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever just sat back and just asked yourself, like every time you hear somebody say, don't rush the moment, you can take your time with it, ain't no rush. You ever just really just took a step back and just said, like, looked at them and said, damn, who are you to say that? And what I mean by that is that when you usually hear them people say that, man, those people are already successful. Those people have already put in the time. They already sacrificed those hours. They already sacrificed that time with their family and friends. They already sacrificed those moments to celebrate. They already did that. So now they sitting there telling you, hey, man, take your time. Don't worry about it. The moment coming. Yeah, because they already did all of that. Do me a favor. Go up to somebody that's settled, Go up to somebody and go up to a bum and ask them, is your moment coming? You feel me? Go up to somebody that's settled, ask them, hey, is your moment coming? Do you got enough time? I bet you they're going to look at you either like, what the hell are you talking about? Or they're going to look at you and be like, no. If I had more time, if I would have did this, if I would have just, instead of partying or hanging out and taking all this time off and they just focused on my goals, focused on my aspirations, I'd probably be in a different space right now. I promise you, man. Like if you just could go up to somebody and say, bro, if you can go back in time, would you change anything? And when people usually say, nah, I never change anything, they fucking lying. Because I know they would have played the lottery. I know they would have invested in something. I know for a fact that on them days where they said that they had time, they probably would have got off their ass. And that's really what I just want to tell you real quick, man. Because as we sit back, I don't know how many rest days you done took. I don't know how many moments you done said that you got tomorrow. But I'm going to just be the first one to tell you this right now. We ain't got a lot of time. We ain't got a lot of time. In fact, man, like if you want exactly what you've been chasing after, man, you're going to have to pick it up a little bit. Let me rephrase that real quick, man. If you've been praying on something, right? Like if you really just been sitting back every night, you praying on this, right? You pray on this every single night, and then you don't do exactly what you have been praying for. Let me rephrase that. You pray on it every single fucking night. You waste your time asking God to give you this. You ask God to deliver you from this. You ask God to put you in the right position. You ask God to put you in the right opportunity. You ask God to send you the fucking moment, but then you don't do the actions that will get you in the thing that you've been praying on, and guess what? You've been fucking wasting your time this entire time. So I just want to be the first one to say that. And I promise you, man, like I'm not trying to incite some type of emergency. I'm not trying to be negative. All I really want you to do is get off your ass and chase after what you've been saying that you wanted to do. And I don't know who need to hear this, man, but if you in the military, you feel me? Like if you an active duty service member, guess what, bro? You either got 4 years, you got 8 years, you got 10, 12, maybe you got 20 in you. But guess what, bro? At the end of this, and when I mean there is a end to this, this is not a long time thing, man. Like it's really not. All of this will come to an end. And I don't know who need to hear this, but if you in the military, bro, especially if you an active duty service member and you don't take advantage of the resources and opportunities that the military gives us on a regular basis, bro, congratulations, dog. You playing your fucking self. Some of y'all right now could literally go to fucking school for free, but guess what? You gonna wait until the end of your enlistment to go to school because you feel like you ain't got enough time. But you woke up early so you can go to PT. You stay late to knock out that tasker, but you telling me that you can't log online? You feel me? You can't log online, get your degree, get your undergrad, finish your enlistment out with your bachelor's, or at least be a couple of credits away before you walk into the next semester with it? Come on, man. You telling me that you couldn't get your credentials? You couldn't get your certifications? Oh, you had to go to the field? You had to be here for the shop? Oh, the military didn't let you do this? But then you take a step back and you went on leave for 15 days, 20 days, 30 days to chill with your family that wasn't doing a fucking thing since you left? Come on, man. Come on, dog. Some of us are in the military right now, bro, and we have tools right at our damn disposal. Keys to success. Keys that will propel us to at least middle class. And you telling me that you can't even take advantage of that? Come on, man. Some of y'all right now are driving to a job that you don't want for money that you need. And you know exactly where I'm about to go with this, man, because I say it all the time. Whole time that you drive in your passions, dreams, aspirations, live in the backseat of the car. And you go to that job, you punch the clock, you make somebody else richer. And then you're going to sit there and tell me that you ain't got enough time. Let me rephrase that, because you ain't telling me, you telling yourself. You telling yourself that you ain't got enough time. You too tired. You telling me that job more important than the person that you supposed to be. Let me rephrase that job more important than the career that you've always dreamed of having. You know, that job gonna get, and that's something that I really want to just let everybody know. Your job always gonna get what it needs to get out of you. I promise you, hand to God, man. If you talk to anybody that's been in the military long enough, they will tell you the military will always get theirs. Your job will always get theirs. So if you're telling me that you're not getting yours while they are getting theirs, then damn, man, you playing yourself. You playing yourself. Because the reality is that the moment that you are no longer of service to anybody, bro, they ain't gonna want you. So at this point, man, like in these moments right here, this is when you supposed to focus on yourself the most. When you say that you can't stand going to work, guess what, dog? That's when you supposed to focus on yourself the most. When you can't stand the people at your job, then guess what? That's when you supposed to focus on yourself the most. When you said that you gonna come in early and you gonna stay late, then guess what? You got some hours that you gotta put in on yourself. Because at the end of the day, man, nobody is going to care about you as much as you care about you. Nobody is going to care about the future you as much as you care about the future you. Nobody ain't going to care about the job that you want, the career that you want, the dreams that you have, the resources that you want, if you don't give a fuck about them. And it has to start with you. You hoping for somebody else to say, hey, dog, don't you got college? Hey, man, you ain't going to get your certifications. Hey, dog, you ain't going to get on that podcast that you've been working on for 4 years. You ain't going to put out that content that you spent so many time building up that platform. You ain't going to break those. Come on. Come on, man. Once again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to incite some type of emergency. All I want you to do is get off your ass. All I want you to do is follow those dreams you told us all about. All I want you to do is accomplish them goals that you bragged about. That's it. So as we come to a close to this episode, once again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to incite no emergency. I just want to remind you that you need to get off your ass. We just had a long weekend. And for some of us, we're coming to a close in our military career. Them 4 years is up. Them 8 years is up. Them 12 years is up. Them 20 years is almost up. For some of us, y'all about to graduate from high school. For some of y'all about to graduate college. For some of y'all, man, like y'all about to transition into a different chapter in your life. And you said to yourself that you always had time. But the thing about time is that we cannot see the timer, but we know when the buzzer goes off. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. Also, don't forget to head on over to TikTok or Instagram and follow me at Meech Speaks. That's right, Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled Meech. Stay motivated, stay healthy. I'm out.